My name is Jim Estes, and today I'm going to talk about a drill that I think is extremely important for the swing plane. So what I want you to do is, and this, by the way, is going to give you an instant understanding of exactly the feeling you want to have in the golf swing. Take a club. You can put a rod, alignment rod, in the grip, or I'm sorry, in the butt end of the golf club. Take the golf club, turn it like you're going to hold it, and then what I want you to do is take that club, put it right against your left hip, so you're holding both clubs here. Now you've got an alignment rod on the ground and a golf ball, and what I want you to do, getting into your good posture position, your weight over the arches, feel balanced. The insides of the heels are going to be about the width of your hips. Take a swing back, slow motion, and trace with that alignment rod the target line all the way up. The shaft should be parallel to your target line at the top, and then slowly coming down, trace the line. And do this in slow motion. Right into the impact position. So this is a great feedback tool, visual feedback tool for learning the proper swing plane. Go right to your impact position. I encourage you to do this drill in slow motion, and if you have 5 minutes a day, if you do this drill every day, I guarantee you're going to improve your golf swing. So again, I think you'll find this to be extremely helpful. JimEstesGolf.com if you have any questions.
Fairly long arms for your height.
Yeah.
I would suggest, and because you have your wingspan, I'm going to actually measure it. I think it's 2 or 3 inches. Your wingspan exceeds your height. I'm going to suggest 2 things. One, your right arm collapses. For me, this excessive bend, now I didn't say this was easy, but we're going to have to try to create more width.
Okay.
So pushing your hands further away from your body on the backswing, that's definitely good, because this is too much collapse.
Right.
And so there's no power there, really, because your right hand is pretty close to your right shoulder, and I want to get that
back further.
right hand out there further away. Now the other thing is, I went through this course on bioswing dynamics, golf bioswing dynamics, and it's done by E.A. Tischler and David Wright, Dr. Wright, and Mike Adams. You can look it up on YouTube. And what they do is they measure your forearm and upper arm from the left humerus to your elbow, and then from the middle knuckle joint to the elbow, and you measure those. And basically what it is if your wingspan exceeds your height, if your forearm is longer than your upper arm, your swing plane should be more upright, maybe through just underneath the shoulder. But if your upper arm is longer than your lower arm, and your wingspan is like mine is 2 inches shorter, your swing should be, now if the forearm's longer, the club's going to come in more shallow.
Okay.
And I suspect you've always been a guy that I think swings too. Well, you've heard the term flat, but
right,
I really like hand height to be above where you're at just a little bit. I like the fact you're trying to hit a draw, because I know that's the way to hit it farther. I know you've lost distance. The club comes inside too rapidly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you a different takeaway. For me, width is really important for power, and so maintaining what I call keeping your hands in a cast. In other words, whatever this angle is, you retain it all the way, and you keep your right arm fairly straight until the club gets to about parallel to the ground.
Okay.
And then you can set the club.
Okay.
So it would look more along these lines, Gary. And most people that play golf at the highest level, it's pretty uniform how they take the club back. Now some guys bend their right arm quicker than others, but basically the club doesn't get inside much.
Gary, it stays in front of the body.
Correct. Yeah. And so what I think happens to you when you hit those rope hooks is the club gets too far behind you, your elbow's too far behind your body, and then you've got to throw it over.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is take the club back a little straighter, and have your arms go up a little bit more and more in front of you. Now, what I mean by more in front, if I put, let's just assume you're against a wall here. I'm going to draw some lines. I don't ever want to see your hands get behind your right heel.
Okay.
So if I said that's about max for you right there, let's see where your line of force is. In other words, where's your line of acceleration? It's going to change based on where you put your hands.
Yeah.
So, you know, here you're just too far inside coming down. That's club's too far underneath. Yeah. And so now you just got to hit a flip.
Yeah.
And you see the right elbow's a little stuck. And so Furyk made a pretty good career of having a bent right elbow, about $40–50 million.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But he's not the longest guy in the world,
right?
Because he doesn't get full extension.
Yeah.
And he's 6'2½", 6'3", doesn't hit it very far. So anyway, so for me, I'm really going to say this. I think we can attack the backswing and let the downswing happen.
Okay.
Because from everything that I teach, 2/100ths of a second from the top of your swing to the ball is, unless you're hitting a lot of balls every day, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do to control it.
Right.
I think you set the backswing up and the downswing takes
care of itself.
Yeah. So
turn and let it centrifugal force take over.
Yeah. So in this case, the club gets behind you and it stays behind you, and it's too far into out from there from me. Now, if I on my flight scope, I would guess you're past probably 6 degrees into out. I'd like it to be maybe 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And that's going to happen with changing the ball position. Maybe not, but more taking it away better and keeping the club more in front of you.
Okay.
You know. Let me look from face on here. And to me, again, what I want to see, and I think you can do this physically. I don't think this is a limitation. I think you're going to have to do some motion training. You know, get in front of your bathroom mirror or find a mirror in your house and work on pushing your hands as far away from your body and creating some extension. You know, because if you look at this now, obviously this guy's much younger and he's playing golf and all that every day, but that would be more like what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And so you don't see any. You see some space between his
head and the
and his right shoulder and his hands are pretty far away.
Yeah.
I mean, his hands are far away from his right shoulder, and so that's definitely a power source. And here he's, you know, obviously staying loaded until the bottom, but I think part of the reason you throw it, and you don't throw it bad. I mean, you're still late. I would still say you're a late releaser. You're just not as late as you want to be. You know, and so, you know, for me, I want to attack the backswing and see what we can do. Now, your lower body stability, I want to take a look at that for a second to see if there's any shifting going on, excessive amount of lateral movement. No, not really. Right knee stays pretty braced. Yeah, so for me, your swing radius, constantly feeling like the club is pushed away from you, is going to give you more. See, to me, there's no, even in your left arm right here, there's not as much extension through the ball. I mean, even there, the right arm should be fully extended through the ball. But I think we just work on the backswing. I think we're going to just see if we can create more width. And what's interesting is you should actually have a shorter swing and it'll go for it.
Yeah.
Because I think you'll hit it more solid.
Right.
You know, so let's
be as much club head manipulation.
Yeah, exactly. And here, and for me, the right arm gets stuck right here. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't really make it. It does there. It makes it in front. But sometimes if you get a little out of sync and your body's way out in front of your arms.
Yeah, I notice that when I do get out front, then that's when the ball goes in.
Yeah, right.
Right to the left, to the thin.
Yeah, but you have good footwork, though. I mean, you know, you roll your ankles nicely. I mean, that's good. You're on balance there. I just think the backswing, for me, it's gotten more collapsed over the years. You know? It used to be a little...
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. You know, here's another example. This girl, what I'm talking about with width. You see how she's pushing the hands out, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's what we'll attack that for a bit. And if that doesn't seem to be going well, I would stay with it.
Yeah.
I think the patience is going to be important, you know? Now, when you go play, you're going to have to decide, is this something that I can really take to the golf course?
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's something along the lines of keeping it wide on the takeaway, because, you know, it's a tough thing to think about your swing while you're playing, you know? I think the motion training and hitting slow motion swings, I think that's where you work on it.
Yeah.
So
I got the time to be able to just do that.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to do without going somewhere to hit balls. So.
Right. And the motion training is really, the motor learning really takes place at a conscious level, where you're interrupting that subconscious motor pattern. All right. I want you to hit some balls with what you would feel like when your left arm gets parallel to the ground. You got minimal bending in the right arm, and you're going to feel like you're still coiling.
Yeah.
You're still getting a 90-degree shoulder turn, but you're going to feel like your arms are shorter. Yeah, I think you're going to hit it more